we've got this from the Post-Millennial. Undecided voters support Trump after the debate, say Harris was vague on policy plans, according to a Reuters survey. This is fascinating. Quote, I still don't know what she is for, said 61-year-old Mark Kadish, an entrepreneur from Florida. There was no real meat and bones for her plans. In the aftermath of Tuesday night's primetime debate, Reuters spoke with 10 undecided voters, with 6 saying after the debate that they would vote for Trump or were leaning towards supporting him. 3 said the same for Harris, and 1 remained unsure. So we also have the story from the New York Times saying pundits have said Harris won the debate. Undecided voters weren't so sure. I love this. I'll tell you my assessment, right? I did a morning show breakdown of where I thought we were going to be in this. And my point, there's this great article where NYU gender swapped Trump and Hillary and then had a mock debate where they had the actors read lines and then asked the audience who they thought won. And everybody thought Trump won. The argument was that people were sexist. That's why they wouldn't vote for Hillary Clinton. If you made Trump the woman, then people would vote for the man. And wrong. The audience hated the smarmy, snooty, know-it-all attitude of Hillary Clinton. And that's all Kamala Harris brought. Frank Luntz even pointed out that Kamala was winning on points, but she was losing on optics.
I'm going to do it.
Exactly. The weird chin thing. What was that? When she's like this, she's like
the very intense pursing of the lips and
very
shaking
strange.
her head.
Yeah.
Very difficult.
I'm gonna tell you exactly what I think most undecided people heard the whole debate. Kamala going and Trump going and I'm explaining this to my friends because they're like, what happened with the debate? Who won? And I was like, look, man, if someone is undecided right now, they are not paying attention to politics. So when Kamala Harris goes, Donald Trump's Project 2025 is going to invert the polarity on our tax system, and I'm going to go optimistic when I invert and go to the Federal Reserve, and it's just like, I'm hearing words. I don't know what that means or what you're offering. So what do they see? Kamala Harris comes off as condescending, snooty, and indifferent. Her attitude did not convey urgency or passion. Donald Trump was angry. At times, it's not good for him, but he conveyed someone who was frustrated and upset with the state of this country. Now imagine you're a run-of-the-mill dude, undecided. You don't care about politics. You just want to watch the game with your buddies, and you couldn't get the wings this time around because or better yet, it's Monday Night Football. And your buddies are like, hey, are we going to come over watch the game? It's like, dude, I got to do OT. Man, I've been putting in extra hours because I got to make ends meet and it's getting tough out there. And like, oh, come on, man. Now this guy's frustrated. He's pissed off. He worked over the weekend. His wife came to him and said, we're not going to be able to pay the phone bill. And he's like, I'll ask for a OT shift. I'll see if I can pick something up. And now he's pissed off. Now he's like, I just wanted to hang out with my buddies once this week, once. What does he see? Kamala Harris going, well, stop. And then he sees Trump angry, saying this country is being destroyed. And he's just sitting there with his beer, squeezing it, going, yeah. So I think emotions matter more. The pundits and the politicians, these are midwits. And that doesn't mean they're stupid. It means they're slightly above average. They're sitting there going, that's right. Kamala had a great line of attack. Ooh, she got Trump angry. And we're talking about undecided voters, people who aren't in politics and how they react to the emotion of the night.
Yeah, inside the Beltway crowd loved Kamala last night, but the debate is not for them, right? They were going to be in the tank for Kamala regardless because they skew to the left. But I agree with you in the sense that your average American has to be frustrated with the status quo, and they are frustrated with it. And so what she presented, which were just platitudes, right? I have a vision for an opportunity economy so that when we invest in the American dreams, it doesn't really fly.
A lot of this motion.
Yeah, it doesn't really fly. So people are frustrated. Like, why is water so damn expensive, right? Why is my bill so expensive?
I was at the movies the other day, and I paid $7.25 for a bottle of Dasani water.
Those are movie theaters.
Yeah, but $7, that's more than you pay like from a Central Park vendor.
That's twice a gallon of gas.
It's ridiculous. Yeah. It made me mad.
Yeah.
It's
I
eggs.
didn't get anything else.
It's eggs. And I think Trump made these points. He said, I think 2 or 3 times, why haven't you done it now? That was his closing statement, which was great. And he had the inflation might be up several points, but for some areas of the economy, it's 20%, it's 30%, it's 40%. Rent is up something like, what is it? Do you guys know what the rent is up?
Rent's up, car insurance is up. I mean,
but they're up 20 to 50%.
car insurance is like 26%.
Kamala Harris's plan to fix all of this is to institute price controls on all of these things, which would create its own problems for, the entire supply and demand industry. Right. We'd end up with more supply chain problems. We'd end up with, if you jack up, if you tell people that they can't charge market rate for rents, why are they going to invest in more properties?
Yeah, you can't say we have a housing crisis and then also not offer a reasonable solution. I think the Harris-Walz campaign missed the mark on what the objective of the debate was for them. They maybe wanted to get under Trump's skin because they think if Trump looks like he's, aggressive, or, if they feel the criticism the media always gives him is he rambles, right? If they felt like they got one of those moments, then they felt victorious. But actually, all the pollsters indicated that undecided voters repeatedly said, well, I don't really know what her policies are. I don't really know her that well. I don't really know what she's standing for. I don't know what she's promising. I mean, fair enough, considering she just sort of announced her policies on her website. So, yes, there are times when maybe she, baited Trump with a crowd size comment. But ultimately, Kamala Harris, if she was serious about winning undecided voters, would have gone into detail on her policies. And she just didn't.
Kamala, okay. Have you noticed how they get really angry about that?
Yeah.
In the New York Times Siena poll, it said COMMA, comma, LUH in huge caps. Like, they're really
They
mad.
had to have the phonetic spelling out there. That's fascinating.
I know.
One thing that I loved was that Jake Tapper actually pointed this out. And he said, Vice President Harris began the debate by punting the first question on the economy, on the border, another vulnerable issue for Harris she also dodged. When asked how she would break through the Israel-Hamas war stalemate, okay, but how? And that's Jake Tapper.
She's going to do it by doing it, because when we work together, historically, presidential
when we're
debates
by what has been,
I know nothing is normal anymore, and I think Americans are longing for a sense of normalcy. Presidential debates, there's normally been 3. And they were always thematic. There was a foreign policy one.
That's a really good point.
There was an economics one. Last night, or the last 2 debates have been hodgepodge, everything. Abortion, the border, foreign policy. And it is too many topics for one debate. But if there was a debate on the economy, as you were saying, Libby, when she would talk about her plan, every one of her plans is money. My small business plan, $50,000. My housing plan, $25,000. My family plan, $6,000. My student loan plan, free student loan forgiveness. An economic debate would say, where the hell are we getting all this money from, right? It's not a plan to give out money.
Question. And it's like, why are we giving away all of this money? Like, what happened to working hard and figuring your stuff out so that you could take care of things? Like, people in my family, my cousins who are extremely intelligent, they went to schools that they could afford. And then, they didn't want to take out a bunch of student loans, so they figured it out. You save a lot of money for years and years and years to get a down payment on a house. I mean, you work really hard for that. When I was a kid, my dad and my stepmom were trying to buy a home. And so she went back to work for a long time. And I remember distinctly all her money was going to the down payment.
Right.
And
people do this
as
when they're
well
saving
as some
for
of my
retirement,
dads.
right?
You save money, you work hard to get what you want. And if you have everything given to you, you don't really value it. And this is something that the lefty billionaires know, and it's why they don't leave any money to their kids.
We need to address the most important element of last night's debate, the zingers. Donald Trump won all of them. Kamala Harris got none, and that's the only thing that matters in my opinion. Now, I'm being a bit facetious. Obviously, there's sound bites that will come out of this debate that people will prop up. But when it comes to the short attention span internet economy, do you think someone is going to have success to get millions of views on a video of Kamala Harris going, well, let me answer that question, but first, an opportunity economy? It's like, next. Or are they going to play the clip of Trump going, I'm talking, please remember that one?
They're eating
Next.
your pets.
Yep.
They're eating your pets. That's a
run,
soundbite.
spot, run, 4 lines. Trump, in 3 seconds, gets a hilarious clip that is easy to go viral, that makes Kamala look like she got beat. I'm going to tell you, man, if the average person doesn't get politics and doesn't like the snooty, condescending, elitist attitude of someone like Kamala Harris, then they're going to want to roast. And Donald Trump delivered. To a young guy, let's say he's 26, 27, doesn't care for politics, he's going to see a clip on Instagram and TikTok of Trump saying, she's got no place. Or no, my favorite one is, maybe you can go wake up Joe Biden. He's probably sleeping. Maybe he's spending time on the beach. Saying things like that. You know that meme where it's all the black dudes and they're going, oh, and the guy's grabbing his face?
I like that meme.
Trump,
it makes me laugh every
That
time.
meme was applicable to Trump like 5 to 7 times last night. Kamala did not have one of those.
Yeah, well, she won the Inside the Beltway crowd, right? Because it was the dignified, it was the, she looked prepared, she looked rehearsed, etc. But that's not who the voters are. And that's definitely not the undecided voters. And at this point of a campaign, and I've worked on a couple of campaigns, including presidentials, at this point, the only purpose of the debate is to get people to vote. Why am I going to get off my couch? I think Jack Posobiec was the one who said, and I love this quote, right? The biggest problem of the biggest threat to the right is the couch. And I thought, like, absolutely, right?
Yep.
Why am I getting up to go, even despite early voting and all that? Why am I going to get up? So Kamala's problem right now is not Trump voters. They're not flip-flopping, right? No Trump voter is leaving Trump to go vote for her. Her problem is, why do I want to vote for you, Kamala? Why do I want to get off the couch and vote for you? We know the enthusiasm behind Obama, right? And that was legit. People wanted to go vote for him. We saw that in 2016. I think a lot of people wanted to vote against Hillary as well, but there was enthusiasm to go vote. Why do I want to vote in 2024? Life sucks. Everything is expensive. The country is divided. I'm tired. You just mentioned rent and car prices. I can't afford anything. Why the hell am I going to vote?
So the people that are saying it is a cope to say that Trump didn't win, I will stress, especially if you watch my full morning show, Kamala seemed more prepared. Trump was thrown off base and got angry in several moments. But we're talking about what matters most, and it's predicated upon why is it that when undecided voters are paneled, they either say no one or they say Trump. That's the question. So I'll tell you this. The cope is when you go, no, Kamala won. Kamala actually won. Well, look, if you're a Politico and you're watching and you expect you expect some kind of decorum, sure, maybe Kamala won. But Kamala won the same way Hillary Clinton won. And I can pull all these up. Here you go. Let's see if I can pull these up. Politico. Hillary Clinton won the second debate. October 2016. I wonder how that worked out for her. 538. Clinton won the debate, which means she'll likely gain in the polls. If she doesn't, Trump could be tough to beat. Nate Silver said that in 2016. She clearly didn't win the debate. She lost the election miserably to a guy they all predicted could not win. And so what happens is, I think it's fair to give Kamala Harris, and I said this even before the debate started, she's going to do better than a lot of people think. And so I'm saying that now for the sound bites, because everybody's coming out saying he's going to mop the floor with her, but I think she'll do better. Trump had an opportunity. I do think he missed it. I don't think he got a clear and decisive victory, but I think he wins out overall for a variety of reasons. Kamala won political points. She lost on the image. Frank Lund said that. If we're talking about the outcome is clear. Undecided voters are leaning towards Trump after this. Let me see if I can pull up the CNN clip, actually. We'll run that for the next segment, where the woman says, I don't know, she didn't articulate her positions. I just can't risk that. That right there.
This is the thing that she had to do. Like, she had to define who she was in more than just platitudes, and she failed. I mean, all of the, so 538, which I know you referenced before, has a podcast talking about the election, and all of the analysts pointed out that Hillary Clinton gained in the polls after every single one of the debates. But I don't remember anything she said from the 2016 cycle. I do remember what Trump said. I mean, famously, you'd be in jail, right? Like, those were clear, those were clear memories from the debate that voters carried forward. And I think, again, I don't think this was his best performance of all time. I think that there were obviously some missteps, but generally he was able to land more specific criticisms than she was. And then she also missed the opportunity to define herself and sidestepped specific questions. Like when she was asked about why didn't the Biden administration repeal the tariffs that Trump, you're critical of them. Why didn't you do anything about it? She just completely ignored the questions, and voters want specifics. Thanks for watching this clip from Timcast IRL. Make sure to check out the live show Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. on this channel. Subscribe and we'll see you all there.